Updating? You're having her update? Who do you think you are? Tech support?
That's literally my job. This ship is ancient. How is it that the AI has never been updated?
I don't need her changing how she works. That could change how I work. And that doesn't work for me.
Well, good news. You don't have to work for anyone today. Under subsection H, this situation classifies as a holiday. At least for anyone that isn't providing an essential service. Sorry, Dunk.
Don't be. If I don't work, we starve.
You got that right, Brother Bear. Well, anyway, good work, team. Proud of us. See you tomorrow. Bye.
But if I don't work, then no work gets done. If no work gets done, what value do I provide? Am I breaking down our talking points or having a breakdown myself? Let's dive in.
Hey Herb, command says to stop everything immediately. I know your work is super important, and you're a really busy guy, so I hope this isn't too much trouble.
You know what they say, boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I strategically waste as many resources as humanly possible on company time.
But if I did that, then no one on the ship would eat. I can't even take a break if I wanted to.
We'd figure it out. Like my father when he fed human hands to that machine because it made him an extra 15 cents on the dollar. You, walk with me. If it used to take a family of 10 to harvest and mill a field of wheat, and now we can accomplish that with 3 or 4 people operating heavy machinery, what should the remaining 7 people do?
Probably do other stuff they want to do, like stealing picnic baskets?
I'd agree. If technology means I can get what I need to do in a day done in significantly less time, that extra time should be for me, right?
Right. If I were to cook at a fire pit, I'd need to spend a lot of time gathering firewood to light it. Now I just turn on the hot box in the kitchen and it's ready to go in 10 minutes.
Well, exactly. I have another question for you. Do you think we work more or less than someone living 600 years ago?
Probably less. Right?
Assuming 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, the average worker spends around 2,087 hours working a year, according to Job Board Indeed. Taking into account PTO and holidays, this comes down a little, but it comes down more to where you work and who you work for.
What was I doing 600 years ago?
American economist and Boston College sociology professor Juliet B. Shore says that one of capitalism's most durable myths is that it has reduced human toil, defended by a comparison of the modern 40-hour workweek with its 70 or 80-hour counterpart in the 19th century. And she's right. Workers in 1840 to 1850 could see anywhere from 3,100 to 3,600 hours per year, 69 to 70 hours per week. If we compare the amount of time we put in now, our 2,000-hour average, to the average UK worker during the Industrial Revolution, then yeah, capitalism has improved things.
What year is this?
We did work less before the Industrial Revolution, however. In the 13th century, a peasant would work around 1,620 hours a year, 1,440 hours in the 14th century, increasing to about 2,000 a year by the 15th century. What Shore found was that the answer was actually yes. A medieval peasant did work less per year than we do. Not everyone agrees, though. An editorial from the Adam Smith Institute, an organization that works to, quote, promote free market neoliberal ideas through research, publishing, media outreach, and education, argues the opposite. They argue that Shore is only looking at the hours a peasant worked for rent to the lord of the land they lived on, and ignoring household labor. Things like yarn spinning, cloth weaving, cooking, firewood collection, and taking care of animals, which wouldn't have been exempted by church holidays. Which is a good point. They go on to claim, however, that in the 1930s, maintaining a household took 65 hours of work a week, where today, it takes about 3?
It takes me 3 hours just to clean all of our bathroom stains.
I don't like talking about stains.
I don't like touching them.
The crux of the counter-argument is that the hours worked that Shore has recorded are the hours worked in the market, and do not include all the other work that a person would be required to do. Capitalism has improved our society. So the question is answered. Sort of. I work less than my peasant ancestors if we account for time I spend working for my employer, but if we include all other work required to maintain a house, perhaps not. But it's not just a matter of hours I put in, but how much I put out.
How much are you putting out, Herbie?
It's a lot. A medieval scribe had to write out an entire book by hand without making a mistake, and even then they'd only end up with one book at the end. Now, I can write out a book on my computer, make as many mistakes as I want, and then print 50,000 copies.
But should you?
Not only is the work easier, I'm producing 50,000 times as much. Should I then work 50,000 times less than a medieval scribe?
I don't think we have scribes anymore. They're called laser printers.
Exactly. The job is totally obsolete. I shouldn't be working at all.
How's your holiday going, bud?
Great! All this free time has allowed me to catch up on my favorite show. It's about a man whose value as a person is inextricably tied to the work he does, and now that he's unable to work at all, his sense of self-worth is shattered. I love it. Look, can't you tell?
I can't. What's happening, man? You seem so...
Miserable? Despondent? Forlorn?
Especially for Lorne. I thought you'd be happy to have time off, like Big J.
I like having time off. That's the only time I can get jiggy with it. But this isn't about that. Dunk, I'm really worried about Seagal's update.
Oh, I knew you cared about her.
What? No! I care about the ship. And I care about my job, which is to care about the ship.
So, you're worried there might be a change you can't adapt to?
Yes. Maybe? I don't know.
Well, I've been there before. Ever since I was a cub, I knew I was gonna cook for people I care about. Then you got me this gig, and now I can cook and get some of that green paper that makes problems go away. But then I had my first day here, and honestly, it was grating. I did not think I would last.
Wait, really? But you seem to fit right in.
Barely. It might not be obvious to you, but this ship was never designed for someone like me. Cabinets that aren't paw-friendly, sweaty temperatures above -40. My environment was not very accommodating, and I worried that might affect my performance.
That doesn't seem very fair. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
I found creative ways to keep doing what I love. It's actually a neat trick I learned from my ex. He was a park ranger. Best I've ever known. Now, some people might think that being blind and working as a park ranger might have been too challenging, but they didn't have an enemies to lovers summer with Ranger Rover. Guess who did?
Me?
No, Lorne, I did. And let me tell you, that dog was a great listener, which turns out is pretty common among the blind. Did you know that more often than not, a person without vision can pinpoint the location of a source of sound better than someone with vision?
Like some kind of superpower?
Sort of. I don't think Daredevil's a documentary, though. The idea that those who are blind can hear better than those with vision certainly isn't new, but we're starting to get some new evidence to support it. There was a 2019 study by the Journal of Neuroscience providing compelling evidence, using fMRI data to compare the neural responses across a spectrum of candidates with different levels of sight.
Wow, Dunk, that was a lot of big words for a guy like you.
I guess reminiscing about Rover helps me smart real good. The study found more refined frequency tuning in blind subjects, providing some of the first evidence in human subjects for compensation within non-deprived primary sensory areas as a result of blindness early in life. Which makes sense for Rover. I couldn't so much as sniff a picnic basket when he was on shift, let alone steal one.
You stole picnic baskets?
It's a cultural thing, Lorne, but I never got the chance anyway. He was that good. He always focused on what he could do, not what he couldn't. So I did the same. I thought, what can I do because of my unique experiences that others couldn't? Well, turns out a lot. This snout can't fit in a snorkel, but it can smell when there's roundworm in your tuna.
And we appreciate that. I don't think my situation is the same. I mean, I'm not a person living with a disability, nor am I working in a world that wasn't designed for me. In fact, I think this world might have been designed for me specifically.
Nobody's situation is exactly the same. Relating to somebody's experience doesn't have to be one-to-one. It never can be. But we can find what we have in common. People living with disabilities are often able to relate to each other in ways that others can't. Being blind and being deaf are two different experiences, but both have to wander a world using creative solutions, supportive devices, and communication with peers.
Huh. I guess I never thought of it that way. The circumstances and tools may change, but my capability and ambitions won't. Folks who have to adapt to change bring their own value to work because of their unique experiences, not in spite of them.
Exactly. But, Lorne, try to keep in mind that you're valuable for a whole bunch of reasons, even today when there's no work to do.
I don't know, Dunk. I think I did work today. Maybe not on the ship, but on myself. Thanks for helping me figure that out. If you don't mind me asking, whatever happened between you and the Ranger?
His true love was the forest. What you got there, sailor?
Well, this is my time off binder. Whenever I have time to myself, this bad boy here tells me exactly what I want to do.
You have a binder that helps you relax? I don't think that's healthy.
Dunk, taking time to yourself is serious business. And what? Is taking care of everything all the time without any time for yourself healthier?
What are you talking about? I'm zen. I'm chill.
No, I'm chill. Look, you cook all the food, you clean, you organize Lorne's conspiracy wall, you're doing everything all the time with no stopping. The way I balance work and life might look crazy to you, but at least I'm balancing them.
Work, life, balance?
Okay. So, work-life balance can have conflict in many ways, but there are 4 main types. Role overload, which is when the time and energy that you need to put into multiple roles you play becomes too much to handle. Then there's work-to-family interference, which is when your work makes it difficult for you to manage your duties to your family. You work all day and come home and can't be bothered to make dinner for your kids, kind of thing, you know? Third, there's family-to-work interference, which is the opposite. Maybe your child or your partner has a disability and providing care for them is making you take off a lot of time from your job. And last, well, there's caregiver strain, which is like the attrition you feel taking care of someone or multiple people over time. On a day-to-day basis, the energy required for you to do your role isn't really overwhelming, but over time, they add up and up and up and up and up.
I don't feel overwhelmed.
There are tons of ways that a poor work-life balance can affect you negatively, like fatigue, burnout, depression, absenteeism, lower quality of work, or musculoskeletal disorders.
My work isn't being affected, though.
Oh yeah? What about dinner yesterday?
What about dinner yesterday?
Well, you did give us a metric ton of seeds and nuts.
To survive the long winter.
It's July!
Fine. Maybe I'm forgetting which season it is. It's just because I was worried about Lorne's locker attracting rats from the lower deck. And Herbie was asking me to help him reorganize his fanfiction by pairing/franchise. And you needed me to come help you iron your tactical jumpsuits. And oh, I see it now.
Yeah, we all do, Dunk. Welcome to Burnout City. Population U.
How much is a bus to get out of here?
Well, most tickets require the workplace to put in half the effort. If caregiving is impacting your balance, on-site childcare is something that could help, but requires support from an employer. You can also use emergency childcare services and seasonal childcare for things like spring and summer break. With that said, if your boss is a maniac who asks you to come in all the time, you won't really find balance no matter what you do.
It's hard to avoid work when you live there.
Oh, tell me about it. Flexible working hours, family leave, and other leaves of absence can help, but they need employers to make adequate arrangements. Not that our employer does. Either way, caring for your physical well-being shouldn't be overlooked.
But caring for your well-being is what brought me to Burnout City. If I don't cook, we don't eat.
I know. Caregiver strain is a difficult problem to balance, especially if you're a single parent, or in this case, on a submarine, parenting 3 other adult dudes. But if you don't take time for yourself, then you'll burn out. Next thing you know, you're dying of stress, or you'll start licking the bottoms of cooling pipes to get high or something, and no, it can't. And we'll starve anyway.
You know, kid, I think you're right about that.
I know I'm right. But no, seriously, the coolant is highly toxic, even if it does make you feel like you're reaching nirvana.
So what should I do?
I don't know, and I don't care. Watch TV with Lorne, read Herbie's smuts, or I don't know, you're a bear, hibernate. Just do something for you. But if you'll excuse me, this binder and I have a sexy yet painstakingly regimented time together.
Update complete. Resume typical operations.
Aw, man, almost finished.
I had a hot stone massage planned at 3.
I've got shit to do. I was scared. Where Donkey Boy at? Is it that time again? It can't be. It's too soon. Herb, where are we at on Operation Betty Bye?
It's preliminary. I thought we had until November. Out for at least 3 weeks. What did you say to him?
Well, I guess I told him to go hibernate. Is that derogatory? Is that offensive?
You fool!
What?
Whoa. What's the big deal? Brother Bear needed a nap.
If there's no one here to cook, then we'll have to eat the nutrient paste, and I am not going back.
What do we do then?
Operation Morningwood.
How about I give you the space to finish your thought? What does that mean?
Well, one of us will have to wake him. With the stick.
Okay.